a little bit recapitulation. Okay, class, let's take a look. See where are we? Okay, so we're in the chapter 1, and in stage 1, sincere arousing of the mind to take refuge. We have done. We are done here. Then stage 2, searching for a place of refuge and undergoing rounds of the decision making. So we noticed that the worldly pressure, the worldly pressure, and also the spirit and heavenly realm, they are the unsatisfactory nature. They got the unsatisfactory choice for us. So we look for ultimate place of the refuge, which is a triple gem. So now we will go one by one. So after the Buddha gem, now today I think we may finish the Dharma gem and the Sangha gem. Okay, so we'll go a little bit details here. Okay, then maybe we might finish the true virtue of the refuge in the triple gem and two type of practice. So let's take a look. Okay, so in the previous lesson, let's take a look to the verses, previous verse. So verse number 7, his wisdom is perfect, his compassionate, infinite, overcoming all obstruction. He is totally without remnants of habits. These three virtues are equal and ultimate for all Buddhas. But for the sake of skillful means, they are the differences. So the virtue of the wisdom, grace, and breaking free from the affliction. This is for the Buddha. And the Buddha is very compassionate. Okay, his intention to elevate the suffering doesn't apply to just one people, but for more people. Okay, well, we discussed that in Mahayana, Shakyamuni is not as popular as Guanyin and Amitabha. So we discussed it before. So Buddha is without any residue habit. And also we talk about that. Basically, different Buddhas have a different physical body of a different size in a lifetime. All is due to, to suit the diverse quality of the sentient being. So this is the previous lesson. Now we go to the praise for the virtue of the Dharma. Okay. So Yishan, can you please read it up? Yishan.
Praise for the virtues of the Dharma. The empty well is old and in rains. The empty village is quiet and without people. The far shore is forested and have flowing springs. The Dharma, honorable and beyond desires, compels our worship. The first two lines refer to two different parables. Strolling in the wilderness, a person carelessly falls into an old dry well. Luckily, he grabs hold of a withered vine in the well so that he does not fall to the bottom. At the bottom are four poisonous snakes staring at him with their mouths open and tongues flickering. A rat is gnawing the withered vine he has grasped, and the vine may break at any moment. In desperate circumstances, he looks up and sees some honey on the vine. He sticks out his tongue to lick the honey and forgets everything. While enjoying the sweet honey, he even forgets that a swarm of bees may sting him. This parable says that in the wilderness of births and deaths, sentient beings are endowed with a body because of karmic forces. The withered vine is like the root of life. The rat gnawing the withered vine is like the encroaching of impermanence. Eventually, the root of life will break. The dry well, the withered vine, and the rat all symbolize the cruel pressure exerted by the powerful force of impermanence. That is why, in the verse, the empty well is in rings. The four snakes represent the four elements: earth, water, fire, and air. When the four elements are not in harmony, people fall sick and die, just as they do from the bite of a poisonous snake. The honey is the enjoyment of the five desires. Content with this small happiness, people forget that they are under the stress of impermanence, birth and death. Just as they are heedless of the stinging bees, so they do not think about the bitter fruits of the 5 desires. How hopeless stupid people are. Even the tremendous suffering of birth and death cannot wake them up.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay, class, take a look. This is the analogy tried to use by the author. This is the well. Okay, so this is the well it mentioned. All right. Then there's one of the wine. Where is this? Yeah, this is the wine. Okay. So class, meaning to say that, okay, there's okay, this is the well. Okay, and here's the wine. So meaning to say that the wine put down at the well, okay, there's one rat is trying to binding the wine. We are holding the well, we are holding the wine, but below of the well, they got snake there. And the wine we are holding, which is binding by the rat. So the author tried to show a very critical situation for us. Okay, so you see, the rat is binding, is one of the critical. Second, below they got so many snake, okay, and some more bee is try to attacking us, and we ignore all. What we try to do, because we see some honey there, so we just enjoy the honey. So this similarly means that basically, even though there's so critical situation, everything is impermanent and changing, but we don't realize. But we just pay attention and enjoy only. Okay, what makes us don't see all the critical pressure tumbling? You think why we don't realize, basically, why you think you don't realize that, oh, you are in the critical situation?
You mean critical?
No, why you don't realize for the impermanence, the changing?
Don't realize.
Yeah. Are you enjoy your life now?
To enjoy, don't know. Enjoy. We this COVID don't really enjoy, but I mean, you understand this thing come is impermanence, but if we don't take care, then it will carry on. I mean, the disease will go on for years.
Yes, okay. Yeah, coming actually you get the point. Class basically, I mean, just the beginning of the MCO, because there's a comparison between before MCO and just after the MCO. We realize there's a drastic change. So at that moment, basically everybody got shocked. Everybody shocked, too shocking, you see. So we realized that. But basically, if let's say, but after some time, we used to it, right? Now we used to it, okay, and before the MCO, we also used to be harmony, comfortable, go out shopping, have a family, have a gathering, and enjoy everything. Basically, the critical situation now happens, but too subtle already. Okay, you realize or not? Actually, whatever described by the author, it happens, but in a very subtle manner. For example, our body is keep on changing actually, but we don't realize that. If you go to watch, compare the mirror today and tomorrow, almost the same one. But maybe if you compare, even though 1 month maybe still the same, okay, but take maybe 3 months, 1 year, and then you see the difference, right? Especially for women who are so particular to the beauty, or you will get scared. How come I'm getting so fat? Okay, you have to measure by yourself. If you measure every day, you don't feel scared one, or even though with the scale, right, you don't feel. But after 1 month, you go to scale, and also you see the wrinkle. Oh, you will get shocking, you see. So basically, we need to say that that's what author try to mention, the impermanence. It happens every moment, but we don't realize that. So we keep on enjoying now, right? Not every day, meal time, we enjoy our meal. All right. Now dharma, we also enjoy our dharma. Okay. So we most of the time, we look for the pleasure, the feeling of the pleasure. We choose the pleasure. So after the class, maybe okay, you look for entertainment just to avoid. So that you are not so boring. You see, not meaning to say that most of the time, every single moment, besides working, we try to make ourselves in a pleasure moment, always in the pleasure. You see, so it's just like we try to eat the honey, at the critical situation, but the situation really we didn't realize because it happens so subtle. Except okay, like this morning, I actually feel a little bit sad because this is our friend who I know him, whole family. Is in they got COVID-19. Also, he is really in the sorrow. You say, or maybe this is the last moment I'm going to meet my mother. I feel so hurt So he asked me to do some blessing to his parent So I really feel that if without this type of a drastic change in our daily life, everything we take it for granted for every moment we experience. See or not? So sometimes in Buddhism, in order to make us more vigorous, we have to always think for the critical situation. For example, in Buddhism, in order to make you more vigorous, we've got the death contemplation, always aware of the death, aware of the death, yes. And sometimes people, they will go to visit the graveyard and visit to the hospital. Basically, it will make us arise the sense of the phobia. Okay, you can feel immediately that our life is very, it's subject to change. It can change anytime, then you're getting more vigorous. So this is what it means. So it is normal that we don't feel the critical situation as what stated here. Okay. Okay. So there's another parable. Okay. So a second parable. Okay. Okay. Guan San, your turn to read them.
The second parable tells of an uninhabited village. A refugee fleeing punishment by a king comes to a deserted village. He wants to stay there overnight, but suddenly he hears the voice of a heavenly being. Run! This place is frequented by robbers. If they find you, you may lose your life. So he leaves the village and proceeds to the borders of the kingdom, where there is a wider river. The people who want to arrest him are close behind. But now, seeing the forest and streams of the far shore and knowing they lie outside the king domain, the refugee feels safe and happy. He swims across the big river without regard for danger. Out of reach of death, he can finally rest. This parable is meant to convey that some people, wanting to be free from the control of Mara, the evil one, study and practice the Buddha teaching but fail to guard the six sense organs. The empty village represents the six sense organs because the six sense organs enable people to see, hear, and feel. People usually think that there is a self and I within, but actually there is no self, just as there are no people in the village. When these six sense organs without a self come into contact with the six sense objects, this gives rise to the confused six consciousness, which are like the robbers. Traveling through the six sense organs, these six consciousness generate desire and anger when they should not. With various affliction, they rob people of merits and the wealth of the dharma. Because of this, some people fall into the evil destinies. If one wants to leave the rule of Mara and study and practice the Buddha teachings, therefore one should not be deceived by these six sense organs and should move forward towards a safer place. One who studies the Buddha teaching, not being deceived by these senses, crosses the river of birth and death. One leaves Mara realms and reaches Nirvana shore. Here one can enjoy bliss of stillness beyond birth and death.
Thank you so much. Okay, I wish to add in some more with the previous number one simile. Plus, basically, I do teach Qigong. I think maybe for the past, for this 10 years, okay, I teach Qigong and I prefer one type of student because there's one type of student, they are the most hardworking student and they will do, they will practice, consistently and also with the perseverance. So let me have a guess. Who are they? Okay, Yongxin, you think what is the student I try to mention? Which type of student I'm trying to mentioning?
Just how to put it.
No idea. Of course, no idea because maybe you are not one of them. Yeah, how about Sally?
Those who are sick.
Yes, the patient. Applause to Sally. Very good. Okay, yes, I prefer teaching sick people. Why? Because sick people are always, the sick itself is a very strong urge for them to do the Qigong, consistently and in perseverance. And preferably, they've tried all the Chinese and Western medication. So they got no choice. So your Qigong is the only choice. So they will wholeheartedly practice it. So I prefer teach them. And I notice one thing, most of the Qigong master, They was patience before. It's me. You see, everybody come. I have to interview. Then I will collect some fee, and then after teaching a lesson, they have to refund back. I have to repeat everything. I think about 200 people already for these 10 years, maybe something like that. You see, why I'm willing to keep on repeat a thing like this. The reason is because I feel thankful to the Qigong. You see or not? So now it's the time for me to contribute back and pay rewards to the Qigong. So I will have the mood to repeat the same thing for more than about 200 times, you see. Do you get it? So meaning to say that sometimes you really need this type of the situations in order to carry out your mission and obligation. So everything go back to the suffering. So class, would you like to have a mission? Would you like to have a mission? Do you want to carry out a mission and make yourself great, provided you need some suffering? Do you want it? Actually, sometimes I think sometimes they really got some karma there. I think it is not your choice. It is not your choice. Sometimes you sick, you come already, all the affinity. So you have to really work hard. So this is, in order to make you always aware with the impermanence, sick is a good teacher. But of course, now I'm very healthy. I also forget half of the lesson already. Now I start to enjoy my life already. Because suffering, sometimes we are very forgetful, as a human, you see. We're very forgetful. So this is why now I go to other stage. Now I'm getting healthier. But because the student keep on coming, I cannot be lazy. So I need the power. I need some encouragement is from the student. It's not from myself already. But for Sally, Sally and Sally really suffer from his sick. So he is the one of the most hardworking student to practice the Qigong. It is correct, Sally? Sally, without the sick, will you be so hardworking, Sally? Frankly speaking, if without the sick,
Not really.
So frankly, I think you are baking the cake every day. Just bake the cake. You don't bother. Okay. So that is the point Okay. Okay. So from here we go to the second analogy. It's about the village. So according to the second analogy, village meaning to say that there's no people. Meaning to say there's a non-self. Okay. And from the analogy, it talk about there's one river. Okay. You try to cross the river, and the other soul is very safe. We call it as the nibbana. There's a bliss there. From here, other soul, which is full of defilement, and also we got the sixth faculty. Okay, this is faculty usually we are going to encounter all the robber. They will be controlled by the Mara. So the Mara will try, to control us by, by manifest a lot of things. Especially, to what we see, what we hear, what we smell, meaning to say all are the attachment, and or maybe there's something which is displeasure, just want to make us angry and also attached. So once you're always in defilement, we consider ourselves have been robbed and have been overruled by the Mara already. In order to make sure you win, so you have to learn the Dharma. And we will tell you that how to cross the river to the soul. The soul which is full of the bliss of the Nibbana. Okay, so class, remember, basically learning Dharma doesn't mean that just always about the suffering. Not really. Once you reach to the concentration in the jhana, there will be the bliss from one level is better than other level. And the Nibbana is the ultimate bliss. So actually, we come for the bliss, not really just come for the suffering. So do you get it? Okay. So this is something regards to the second simile. Okay. Okay. Here now we go to the other paragraph. Okay. Yukwa, please read it out. This parable.
This parable illustrates the three seals of the Dharma. All conditioned things are impermanent. All dharmas have no seal. And in Nirvana, Nirvana is stillness and extinction. They These are the three tools of Buddhism. Furthermore, nirvana, the ultimate settling place for all sages, is achieved through realizing impermanence and the non-existence of the self. This is the Dharma thresholds in which we should take refuge and which we should respect. Although some worthy meditators succeed in disgusting some afflictions such as desire, the sages of the three whiskers who attain nirvana through wisdoms have completely disgusted them. Among all the stages in which one can be free from desires, nirvana is supreme and most honorable. As it is said, nirvana honorable and beyond desires.
Okay, thank you. We digest this paragraph. Okay, class, according to the author, all right, there will be three truths. Actually, it's from Buddha. The three truths, which is everything is impermanence, okay, everything is non-self, and finally, we should aim for a nibbana. Okay, so maybe you try to challenge it out. Is this really everything is impermanence? Possible? Can you put something which is the permanent? Check. Can you put one example which is permanent to us?
Impermanence to us.
No. Permanent to us.
Changes.
What lah?
Changes.
I don't get it. What is it?
What is the permanence to us, is it?
Yeah.
I cannot think. You say impermanence, maybe I can say something.
Oh yeah. How about Helen? Helen, because you encounter so many cases in your legal practice. Is there anything which is permanent the way you see?
Permanent. Nothing is permanent.
Maybe your career proof that everything is impermanent for you. Your career proof it.
Not only career, life was same. Nothing can last forever.
Last long now. Everything is keep on changing. So everybody, meaning to say everybody agree? No people disagree. So we accept everything is impermanent the way we see. Since it is impermanent, it is also non-self. Basically, what does it mean self? You will feel the self because you can control something. Okay. Basically, sometimes you notice that it seems we can control something, but this is not the real one. Of course, sometimes okay, it seems that everything it's under our planning, right? We can plan maybe the first 10 years what to do, the next 10 years what to do. Yes, we can do the planning, but it seems that we can't control it. The reason, for example, if the body want to fall sick, we can't control it. Of course, you can look for the doctor. Okay, you can do many things, but basically, it seems that it's not 100% under control. I mean, certain percentage is it depends on the condition. Incontrollable factor. Certain condition which is under our control. So the non-self meaning to say that basically, the things are not totally under our control. You can plan for it, but it can be changing. Like what happened now, no people can predict what will happening. This second MCO, I think, is out of our expectation. Am I right? Because 3 days before the MCO, I think everybody is celebrating. So a lot of mass gathering, a lot of traveling, right? Everywhere is crowded. So people expect it comes again. So this is something we call impermanence. And no people will expect that you invest like Elena Boss, the investment company can do so well, and the Lazada, all this they can do so well. Some is out of our expectation. So that is what we call non-self. It's our control. But basically, the impermanence and non-self, we use to explain this example to make us easily understand it. But basically, the real this thing we use to observe our physical and mentality, our physical body and mentality. They keep on changing. But basically, it's not easy for us to see it. The reason is it is so subtle. The only way we can really penetrate through it is by the meditation, or maybe you try to use a microscope, some scientific equipment to help you to really analyze our mentality and the materiality. But nowadays, science cannot prove the mentality. They can only prove the existence of the materiality only. Until now, they can't prove the mentality. They can't prove it. They can't. They can observe it. They can show you something, but they can concretely present it. Okay. So, if for Buddhism, after if really experience the impermanence, within your your mentality and materiality, finally the nibbana will arise. According to the Buddha, he said, when you observe it, when it's become mature, the nibbana will arise. Nibbana is a state where which is permanence and no more reincarnation. Whatever we do now, what we see, what we hear, if let's say, we try to do something, we have a strong impact, that will be the karma, and we have to suffer the consequences. You can say sometimes we enjoy the consequences, like the COVID-19, now you try to help a lot of people, all right? So you do the good karma. According to the Dharma, this karma may make you reincarnated as a human or become a deva in the next life. But if let's say you take advantage during this situation, you try to cash in out and cash in on the scenario and earn a lot. Unethical money. So maybe next life you will be reborn to the three woeful state. So that is what the Dharma tell us. But all are subject to the suffering. The only thing is you have to end the reincarnation. That's why you hear, because we try to introduce you that there's a way for you to try to achieve this no more reincarnation. Okay, next. Ang Kyung, can you please read it out, the second one of the true Dharma? Please on the mic, Ang Kyung.
Okay, the true Dharma is wonderful and inconceivable. It is excellent, pure, permanent, and joyful. If one follows the way of the ancient immortals, one can attain nirvana. Nirvana is a place of refuge for all sages and all Buddhists. Because there are different levels of realization, there are different levels of nirvana. Nirvana with residue. What is that? Nirvana without residue. And supreme nirvana, actually nirvana is is the true Dharma, a state of self-realization that is wonderful and inconceivable. Thus, it is said, only the one who drinks the water will know whether it is cold or warm. Now, according to the skillful discourses of the sutras and the treatises, the true Dharma can be briefly described as excellent and absolute perfection beyond description, pure, uncontaminated by affliction and defilements, neither causing affliction nor defilement, permanent beyond the nature of times and beyond birth or death, existing as it always has and always will, and joyful and absolute happiness that is free from the bondage of birth, old age, illness, death, worry, and suffering. In short, the true Dharma is unimaginable and its virtues are inconceivable.
Okay, thank you so much. Off the mic, please. Okay, class, sorry to mention that it is quite difficult to use, to explain Nibbana verbally, because it's something you have to really experience by yourself. Even let me try let me try. Okay, is there anybody meditate before? Please put up your hand. You do the meditation or qigong before? Please put up your hand. Okay, let's see. Okay, most of the people, okay, well, okay, have you ever enjoyed maybe just 1 minute of the calmness? Put up your hand. You enjoyed that before 1 minute calmness? Quite a number of people. Yes, this is very important. Class, for the 1 minute of the calmness, if let's say you can maintain the 1 minute maybe for 1 to 2 hours, okay, the calmness can further to go to the jhana, something we call as a jhana, all right? So jhana, meaning to say that from here, you can deduce the feeling of the jhana. If let's say you can enjoy the 1 minute, if continue enjoy maybe 2 hours, and it's getting deeper and deeper, you go to the jhana. And from the jhana, when you reach to the highest of the jhana, maybe fourth jhana we call it, or then you can try to observe, okay, our body. We try to observe our body. Finally, the nibbana, which is ultimate bliss, will unfold. So that's the only way I can tell you. So class, if you totally you didn't meditate, like you don't meditate, and you have never experienced even a single moment of the peace, quite hard for me to let you know to explain to you. So the only thing maybe I can tell you is like this. Let's see. Okay, so class, maybe we are this river, so preferably maybe, okay, we'll use this most of the times. If let's say Buddha, okay, is the Maldives, okay, which is so beautiful here. Maybe we are somewhere here, this polluted river. So this is the polluted river. So we are maybe this, okay, right. But if you really meditate, maybe a very single moment, you can experience this in like Maldives, very single moment. But for Buddha, Buddha will permanently enjoy with this the state in the Maldives. But for us, it could be worsened, you see, class. It could be worsened, you see. So sometimes maybe we are in this state, you see, full of the garbage, full of the rubbish. Yeah, okay. It is quite possible. So sometimes maybe whole day your mind is full of the rubbish only. Yeah, possible. Okay, so please try to join the meditation class. Then you can understand what I'm trying to tell you. Okay. If let's say, okay, like the Maldives, which is visible. So Nibbana, what is the advantage? First, the joy is permanent. You see here, our joy, okay, our joy cannot last long one, but comparatively, could be longer. Class, could you tell me if you compare, you see something is beautiful, you hear something is nice, okay, you smell something which is good, all right, and then we smell something which is good also, which one the joy can be last longer, long comparatively? Which one is the, it could be last longer comparatively. The objects which we see, we hear, etc. All right. Amanda, you think which one?
I think could be taste. Taste can last a little bit longer.
Really? I don't think so. Even thinking, well, after go pass through the tongue, no more already. What? Could be last longer. No, I think maybe it's the shortest is the go through the tongue because our tongue just only 3 inches only, according to the proverbs, right? No, it should be no.
After the taste, you captured into your memory.
The brain, no, not in the brain. Okay, in the brain, I mean, you can store for the last, for the longer period, right? If you really put in the brain, you see. Okay, we try to get other answer. Yeah, how about Elena? You think which one is longer? If we judge through the 6 faculty.
Sorry, Sifu, I was dreaming a bit just now.
Okay, never mind. So if that's the case, I let Mr. Lam try to answer which one can be longer. Through our 5 faculty, which one the joy could be longer a little bit? On the mic, please.
Sight.
Sight. You mean you see something?
Yes.
See something. For example, see what?
I see Sifu so happy lah.
Then you just keep on watching me only. I think very soon you get boring already lah. Right? Not class. Our before we can sustain our joy, we start to feel boring already. Is this correct? That's why once people start to try to gamble, gambling just want to get the joy only, the excitement. But later on you get boring, they have to increase their bet, the number of the bet. Oh, okay, $100 will make it 200. Then the joy start. The joy will come back. After $200, you feel nothing. You have to increase to 300. Just like you take the nicotine you take the nicotine or maybe the new marijuana, everything. You have to increase the dosage in order to get excitement. So meaning to say that the joy, we try to explain cannot be last longer. Even Amanda, the food, you see, you enjoy eating the food, right? Okay, but once you get full, you stop already. Is it possible for you to vomit out everything, then eat the food again to continue to enjoy? You wouldn't, right? You wouldn't, you see. Even you listen to the music, okay, 1 time enjoy, 2nd time enjoy, maybe until 5th, the 5th, you feel boring already. I don't want to listen anymore. I feel enough already, you see. What you can do, just repeat, listen to the music, you see or not? So, meaning to say that our sensual pleasure is just momentary. But this is, for us, this is very luring for us. It is so gorgeous for us. It's so wonderful for us. We always succumb by it. This type of the joy. But we compare with the Nibbana. Nibbana is the best. But if you experience the jhana, basically, most people you notice that you can say that jhana, the joy of the jhana, can last longer than all these senses. All these senses. Sally, if let's say you meditate for 1 hour with a good quality, do you feel joy throughout the whole hour? Whole hour, Sally?
More than that.
Yes, you see or not? Whole hour, so better than Amanda, eat the thing, then vomit it out, and eat again and vomit it out. So you see or not? Or you listen to the music, after 10 times you feel boring already. Don't want to listen anymore. But for the jhana, you wouldn't feel boring. I mean, over this. So you have to meditate in order to know it better. And but jhana is still subject to change, even though 1 hour continuously, but it's still subject to change, right? Right, Sally, Why? Why is subject to change? Maybe after meditate for 1 hour, your posterior, your buttock feel very, very painful already. Oh, my leg is very numb already. You can continue, right? Then you have to relax, you see. So we have been restricted by our physical body. See or not? So, but for Nibbana, that is the eternal bliss, a really eternal bliss there. Okay, so we say from Nibbana, we get a joy, okay, permanently, and then what else will we see first? Let's check. Okay, see, it is excellence beyond the description. Yes, it's really beyond the description. I work so hard to describe it. You see, it's very pure. Comparatively, you have to meditate in order to feel it. It is permanent and it is joyful. So that is the meaning for the Nibbana. Class, basically, Nibbana is the ultimate goal for all Buddhists. We hope one day I can really experience it. But this is the spirituality. I can show you, but I can only convince you by pursue you to try to meditate so you get something closer to it and compare it. Okay, okay, there's one more question now. Too beautiful, we don't want to go back. Too beautiful, we don't want to go back. No, Nibbana is never mind. Nibbana is the last thing. It's not necessary for you to come back because reincarnation is really suffering. Okay, once you reach to the Nibbana, you're just like a person who already awakened. Once you're for those who are in the reincarnation, it seems like we all in a dreaming state. If you already awaken, what for you come back to dream again? Get it? In dream, everything is so real. If the tiger chases, we will run. If we're hungry, we will eat, even though we are in the dream. But since you have already awakened from the dream, what for you come back to the dream again? You get it? No need to come back. Okay, son, you get my answer. No need to go back to the dream again. So next, we go to the next. Okay, we got a one paragraph. All right, then praise to the virtue of the Sangha. Okay, yes, okay. So SJ, your turn to read.
The state that is attainable through wisdom is called the true Dharma. Entering the true Dharma and attaining real liberation through wisdom is called Nirvana. The true Dharma is thus the same as Nirvana. One only needs to follow the ancient, entering the Buddhist immortal true way to realize the liberation of attaining Nirvana. The ancient immortal's way is mentioned in the Agama Sutra, the Lankavatara Sutra, and elsewhere. This true way to attain Nirvana, which every Buddha of the past has gone through, was not created by Shakyamuni Buddha. It is the normal way of the ancient Buddhas and therefore is called the way of the ancients.
Thank you so much. Okay, class, basically, nothing much regards this paragraph. Okay, the author tried to emphasize that the way is experienced, which is experienced by Shakyamuni, is not invented, it's not created by him. And all Buddha, we use the same path and way to discover the Nirvana. Okay, class, there's a sutra here. Okay, I'd like to introduce you. One is the Agama, second is the Lankavatara Sutra. Class, take a look. Lankavatara. Lanka means something with the Sri Lanka, right? Okay, Lankavatara Sutra. Lankavatara Sutra. Take a look. So when you Google, you can get it. Okay, class, take a look. Once you talk about Lankavatara, it will appear in the Mandarin. Why? Also some is English. Okay. Basically, the author were using the classical Chinese material to compose this book, and the classical Chinese basically mostly are translated from the Sanskrit. So this is what you are reading now. It's a translation from the author, which is from classical Chinese, and now the classical Chinese have been translated in the modern Chinese, and from modern Chinese to English. Basically, there's a few gap already. Okay, let me try to guide you or see what you can know relates it. Okay, if let's say you go to search Lankavatara Sutra, class, take a look. So Lankavatara Sutra, you will go back to the original Sanskrit. You see, it's a prominent Mahayana Buddhist sutra. This sutra recounts a teaching. Okay, class, you see, it's a Mahayana Buddhist sutra, meaning to say that it had been translated. Well, there's quite a number of the text, original text, which is, which you can't trace back to the Sanskrit version because the Sanskrit text have been destroyed. Okay, okay. 1,000 years ago, this is how the sutra looked like. They are all written in the leaf. Okay, class. In about, I think maybe it began from 4th century onwards. The Chinese monk traveled to India to get the sutra. The sutra is in this form, maybe in this form, so they try to bring it back. All were in Sanskrit text, so they translate to the Mandarin. But this part of the material, some had been destroyed. Mostly are destroyed, so we didn't get it. Okay, But here, if we can see a Lankavatara Sutra and explanation, maybe the original text is still available. You see, the sutra recounts the teaching primarily between the Gautama Buddha and the Bodhisattva named Mahamati, great wisdom. So you can roughly get the idea regards this sutra. Then you see the sutra is set in Lanka, the island fortress capital of the Ravana, the king of the Raksasa demon. So you see it's a scripture of the descent into the Lanka. It's set in the Lanka, Sri Lanka, meaning to say that. Okay. And then from here, we know that the Lankavatara Sutra figure prominently in the development of the Chinese, Tibetan, Japanese Buddhism, and it is notably an important sutra in Zen Buddhism and Japanese Zen. So it means what? Class, if let's say one day you go to try to meditate under the Zen school, this is the Lankavatara Sutra as references to prove your attainment. Please, you can jot down. So this Lankavatara is the sources by the Zen school to authenticate their meditation, the attainment in the meditation. So one day you will have to try the Zen school of meditation. You can try it. Okay, so it's about the Lankavatara Sutra. And next, let's take a look. So we will see next is about the Agama Sutra. Let's take a look. Class, you see Agama. So Agama basically is only available in classical Chinese only. Agama Sutra. It is an advantage if you are bilingual in this class. Agama Sutra. So class, take a look. Agama Buddhism. Yeah, the terms agama is used refer to the collection of discourses of what, let's see how. From far away, or the scripture is a collection of early Buddhist texts. So that is the meaning of agama. So class, you can write it down. It's a sacred word of a collection or the scripture of an early Buddhist text. Please write it down. So basically, most of the material, especially in the chapter 3, are originated from Agama. Okay, next. So now we go to the praise for the virtue of the Sangha. Okay, so please read out the verses and then one paragraph and two big paragraphs. Okay, so Elaine, okay, yes, okay, let's see. Yeah, Kamling, your turn to read, please, to bring together.
To bring together the Sangha, the Buddha relied upon the Dharma, and harmony, joy, and purity were its foundation. With harmony in practical matters and harmony in principles, the Sangha, most highly honored among assemblies, compel our worship. After Sayat-muni Buddha became a Buddha and started preaching the Dharma, many people wanted to leave home and follow him. So the Buddha organized them into the Sangha, a group with organization and discipline. An old Chinese translation called the Sangha a harmonized harmonized group. What did the Buddha use to bring together the Sangha? Not his own abilities. The Buddha said, I myself do not gather people. Rather, the Buddha relied on the Dharma to form the Sangha. He used the Dharma to inspire people so they might solve the great matter of the life and death. The Dharma also serves as the rules and regulations that accord with the discipline of a righteous life. Drawing from these perfect principles of living with one another, the Buddha formalized rules and regulations to organize the people. The Sangha has the three fundamental characteristics of harmony, joy, and purity. The first, harmony, is found in both practical matters and in principles. Harmony in practical matters is subdivided into 6 areas called 6 harmonies. Harmony in understanding the doctrines refers to the unified way of thinking, which means that all members of the Sangha share the same views. Number 2, harmony in keeping the precepts means that all observe the same rules. Third, harmony in the sharing of materials means there is economic equality in daily life. These 3 harmonies are the essence of the Buddha Sangha. If the Sangha lives together in this way, the physical and mental activities among its members must have the 3 following characteristics. Number 4, harmony in abiding physically, that is peaceful, communal living. Number 5, harmony in speech without quarreling. And number 6, harmony of tranquil minds. These 6 harmonies, which constitutes harmony in practical matters, should be practiced by all monastics.
Okay, thank you so much.
As for the harmony in principle,
Stop. Okay. So 1,000 years ago, okay, the monk we see is in the is very, I mean the monk we see is very big group, see, like here, see. It's a big group in one community. So now we're trying to discuss regards how to keep all the monks together. Helen, you run your business yourself, Helen. How many staff do you have, Helen?
3.
Okay,
Now it's 3 only.
Okay, for example, like, okay, Helen, why do they come to your company? Why?
Why?
Yes, why do they come to your company?
They need a job.
Yes, they need the money, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So meaning to say that 3 of them will be always follow your company. If I mean the purpose, they want the money, so they come to your company. Okay, so once they come, 3 of them, they will be chaotic if you don't organize them properly. What will you do in order to make them work for you in a harmony way?
Don't overstress them.
First, overstress. Second, how about the payment? Is the fair
Payment
is necessary? Is this a fair payment system? Is this necessary?
Yes, of course.
Of course. All right. Then what else?
It must be pay according to
okay. Pay according.
Don't underpay. Don't underpay them.
Don't underpay them. Okay. Besides, what else to make them always work for you?
Wow. So, environment.
Environment. Okay. Environment. Environment. What does that mean? Harmony.
Maybe more harmony and more freedom.
More harmony. Okay. More freedom. All right. Okay. Yeah, Yung Sin, what will make you stick to one company, Yung Sin? Besides what Helen mentions?
Great culture.
The culture, okay. How about the rules and regulation? Is this important, the rule and regulation?
To keep the order in place, I think it's important.
Okay, so we need to say that there must be some fairness also. It must be fair to the rules and the regulation. Okay, so basically, okay, how about the bonus? How about the bonus? How about, about the rewards? Is this important for you to stay in the company?
I think that's the most important.
Okay, if let's say they pay you, they pay you the bonus or reward unequally, is this the reason make you run away? Could you make a reason?
I think, yeah,
okay. Okay, so class, you have answered the whole passage already. Huh? Okay, basically, what the monks 1,000 years ago until now, they want to follow Shakyamuni. The reason only because we want the Dharma. Okay, which is attractive is about the Nibbana. So class, it's just same like the stuff from the Helen. They come for the money. So we come for the Nibbana, for the Dharma. So second, once there's a big group of people coming, no matter 3 people or 300 or 3,000 is the same only. First, they come to the Dharma, but you have to organize them. So rules and regulation is the things to organize the thousands people. Okay, is there, okay, so I think some of you, is there any people company, is there anybody work in the company more than hundreds? Is there anyone? You work in the company more than 100 staff, okay? Amanda and SJ and Kamling, you see or not? Once there's 100, there must be the rules and regulation, but not only the rules and regulation. Another thing is one, about the bonus, the reward. It must be fairly, given. It must be fairly given. Everybody look for fair. I work harder, so I expect more reward. So the first thing, for monk also same only. If let's say, for example, we got 5 monks here, okay, so maybe Sally come to make offers to us, right, okay, so Sally said, oh, I got 3 apple only, you got 5 monks, so if you pass it to me, I will try to do 2 ways. Second, I will try to cut the 3 apple, make sure everybody got the same share. Or second way, the senior monk take first. Okay, the senior who take first. Okay, then later on the junior, maybe they are not able to get it. It doesn't matter because the junior monk later on can become the senior monk. So one day they will become the senior because we don't have adequate thing. In our system, we allow the senior everything. We will prioritize the senior. It is acceptable. This is our rules and regulation. So first of all, it's about how are you going to distribute the profit. Okay, okay. So secondly, rule and regulation, everybody must follow the same rule and regulation. Okay, so that's why, like Jing Xing said, if let's say the rules and regulation, the boss, maybe we'll try to know, do you expect your boss on time as you in the working place? Can you put up your hand? You wish the boss on time as you. You see, 2 people, they hope the boss can do the same thing. Is there anyone, doesn't matter, because he's the boss, so he can be early, can be late. You don't mind, put up your hand. You don't mind your boss early or late. So SJ, An Kyung, and Chat, you see, we have a split of opinion already. So meaning to say that rules and regulation, for us, our system, we try to make it, everybody follow the same. So this is the one thing. Second, if we got the benefit, okay, we have to follow the system to distribute it. Okay, 所以我们讲是积和同结，利和同均。Okay, okay. Then one more thing is, let's see, I forget a little bit. Okay, then same understanding of the doctrine. Yes, what does that mean? Okay, meaning to say that if let's say in my place, okay, I opt for I opt for education. I want to study the Dharma, the scripture, okay, but you come just want Amitofo only. So meaning to say that our understanding is different already. It's just like the mission is different already. Okay, so if let's say you join a company and you hope that the company will keep on growing and growing, but the boss end up that the boss, if the boss is free, the boss said, I want to meditate for myself. So sorry, I think you will run away from the company. Am I right? Because you're looking for a company with the future prospect, and if the company with the future prospect, better prospect in the future, you will get a better prospect at the same time, right? But if the boss always said that, oh, sorry, if you got free, we just meditate. What do you think? Then I think you will leave already. Am I right? Elena, you're looking for a boss who is going to meditate or keep on, to make the company bigger and bigger. You aim for which one of the boss?
My boss meditate, I meditate together lah. It's okay.
No, it's impossible. Okay. Is there?
Yeah, lah, should be.
Yeah, it should be a normally, is it not? So this is the regards the understanding. So class, if let's say understanding the benefit, and also the rules and regulation, three of it, you handle it well. Okay, basically, mentally, verbally, physically, no more quarrel. You get it? So this is the way how Shakyamuni to run our community. And this type of rules and regulation is still applicable now, especially for the big community, like what you see. Like this type of big community in Thailand, Myanmar, they do the same thing. Okay. Whatever I say, you feel so familiar with your company. Can you put up your hand? It's exactly what you feel in your company, whatever I said just now. Your yokwa, yes, you feel the same thing only. Exactly the same.
Yeah, almost the same stuff, because without rules and regulations, you can run for the company.
Okay. Are you? What is the mission of the company?
Our missions follow the ISO procedures.
I think basically people that don't know the mission, even though the company put the mission very big, but no people see it, I think. Am I right? Because not everybody follow ISO. There must be mission and vision. They put on the elevator. They put everywhere, but people don't forget. Because people just come for the money only. Every month I get a salary, that we don't bother mission and vision. Basically, mission vision will be quite important. So this is how to keep our Sangha community. Okay. Then let's take a look. Okay, I think that's for our class today. We are not able to finish the rest. Okay, so let's see.